Hi, fight fans, and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. Now, before I start this, I do need to be a little bit careful in how I phrase this because I don't want to get carried away, and it's not like me to get carried away. And especially when you take into account recency bias. So you always have to be very careful of the effect of recency bias. But here goes. What I would say is this: every now and again in any given particular sport, someone comes along that just literally makes your jaw drop, literally blows you away in terms of their sheer natural talent and the youth. To give you a few examples, Boris Becker, I remember when I saw Boris Becker, I think he was 17 years old, he went on to win Wimbledon. I remember thinking at the time, wow, what a player this guy is. Similarly, Wayne Rooney in football. The first time I saw him, I'm an Arsenal supporter. The first time I saw him score that goal against Arsenal when he was 17, I think he was 16 at the time, actually. I remember thinking to myself, wow, what a player. This guy's going to go on to be something special. I had the same feelings, of course, when I saw Mike Tyson. That's before Wayne Rooney, but Mike Tyson, the first time I saw him, long before YouTube and all that type of stuff, I saw him and I thought, wow, 20 years old. You're kidding me. Now, the reason why I say that is because, it was the first time I saw these guys and I was immediately blown away by their genius, what I call this sporting genius. And they were all sporting genius, all those three aforementioned guys. And I could name more, but those were three in particular that I thought to myself, wow, those guys are going to go on to be something special. And indeed they were. Now, the reason why I say that is because that is the same vibe I get every time I see Moses Itauma fight. Moses Itauma, he's only 20. He's a little bit about him. He's from Kent, I think Chatham, Kent. He's half Slovakian, half Nigerian. I think his mum's Slovakian, his dad's Nigerian. He moved to this country at the age of 4 from Slovakia, moved to Kent, took up boxing at an early age. This guy is just incredible. He's never lost a fight, by the way. He had an amateur career. He won junior ABAs. He won junior European titles, a junior world title. I think he had something like 24 amateur fights, won the lot. Incredible talent. I mean, the kid's got everything. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got athleticism. He's already got ring generalship at such a young age. He's got composure in the ring. He's got timing. He seems to have every kind of attribute that you would want in a fighter. He already has it at 20. And listen, 20 is very, very young anyway. But for heavyweights, that is baby. Trust me, he's a baby. Most heavyweights don't mature until well into their late 20s, sometimes even their early 30s. You tend to consider bigger men, But yeah, he's incredible, man. I mean, his last fight, Moses Itauma's last fight, was on the undercard to the Josh Taylor, Echo Esserman fight, Glasgow at the weekend. And predictably, he scored a second round knockout. A couple of check right hooks in there because he's Southpaw. Like, guys of his age are not even supposed to be like throwing them shots, let alone knocking guys out of it. You know what I mean? And he's doing it with consummate ease. I'm telling you now, this guy is without a doubt, in my humble opinion, the biggest and best prospect in boxing right now. And I'm talking worldwide, not just British boxing. He is that good. And like I said, he's a heavyweight and he's accomplishing all these things at a guy. He's just turned 20 years old. I mean, his potential is unlimited. I mean, like I said, he's got everything. If he continues to work hard, avoids the obvious distractions that you will get being a young man and a successful young man, if he can overcome that, keep focus, have the right people around him, which at the moment it seems that he does, if he listens to those people, continues to work hard, continues to do his due diligence, do his work in the gym, keep his feet on the ground. And listen, that's not easy. I mean, I was 20 once and I know the kind of distractions that are out there and they're numerous, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping that he keeps his feet on the ground, stays focused, because we have something very special in boxing at the moment. I mean, Mike Tyson, I mentioned him earlier. We all know the story of Mike Tyson, prodigiously talented. But at the end of the day, he ruined his career by the vices that he allowed to overcome him. Let's not hope that Moses Itama follows down that same route. I don't think he does. I mean, looking at him when he's interviewed, he seems very calm, rational, composed, articulate young man. In fact, his interviews are always quite a fascinating study because he's very honest, he's very raw, but he's got a very dry sense of humor. He comes across as very confident, but not arrogant, if you know what I mean. So yeah, man, I mean, I'm so excited by this guy, the way he fights, the way he handles himself, the aura that he's managed to create around himself. It's just something special already, and he's only 20 years old. I mean, listen, as I said before, we don't want to get carried away. We've seen prospects in boxing come along before and flatter to deceive. Names too numerous to mention, I won't go there. And listen, there are also a couple of other things that we do need to take into account. For example, he's not really been hit on the chin yet by, a solid heavyweight, a good heavyweight that you could say, well, world-class heavyweights tagged him and he fell apart or anything like that. I mean, so that is one, question mark that only time will tell. But at the moment, he seems to be fine in that regard. I mean, I've heard in recent days, our old friend from up in Scotland, Billy Nelson, and Martin Makoli, aka the last king of sparring, aka Martin Baguchi, head to toe in Gucci. They've come out. Billy Nelson, to be fair to Martin Baguchi, it's mainly Billy Nelson's come out and kind of put it out in the boxing ecosystem that Moses Itama may have got clipped in sparring or, stuff like that. But then that's what they do, innit? Billy Nelson and Martin Makoli, their sparring stories are just kind of getting everyone a bit irritated now, to be honest. But anyway, they've come out and alleged that there may be an issue there. Listen, when you're sparring, as these guys do, there are going to be occasions when you come up on the wrong end of sparring, as the Americans say. You got one, someone got one up on you or whatever it is. Listen, it happens. I've been around boxing gyms a long time. I've seen many of your favorite fighters get hurt in sparring, dropped. It happens, man. It happens. But what we've seen of him in the ring, there seems nothing wrong with the chin to me. But then again, no one's really hitting there. So, only time will tell on that. The other thing you've got to say is adversity. How will Moses Itama, he's had it all his own way so far. He's never lost a fight, amateur or pro. So we don't know how he's going to handle adversity. I'm sure that will come at some point in his career. So, that's a question that will be asked when he gets there. But as for now, incredible talent. Like I said, seems a very likable young man. Carries himself very well. Seems to be handling all the fame and all the hysteria very well. And I'm desperate to see this guy do it, man. I mean, I'm going to say this, and I know this sounds a bit of a stretch, but I think Moses Itama could beat 90% of the heavyweights right now. I mean, I mentioned Martin Makoli. Martin Makoli's had a lot to say in recent days, but trust me, if those two were to fight this year, my money would be very firmly on Moses Itama. I think he beats Martin Makoli all day long. I think there's only a few heavyweights out there that I would pick over Moses Itama at this point in time. I mean, I'd probably pick Usyk over him. And there's one or two others, but listen, 90% of that, I mean, I don't want to disrespect people, but I'd say 90% of the heavyweights out there, your favorite fighters, this guy beats them already. That's how good I think he is. And listen, man, I've heard venerable people in boxing, world champions, guys like Lawrence Okoli, former world champion, or I think he's a current world champion, actually. He's on the record. I've seen the interview, him saying that he couldn't believe how good Moses Itama was when he sparred him. I think he said he was like 14, 15 years old. I've heard Shane McGuigan, a venerable trainer, one of the best trainers in British boxing. In fact, in boxing, he's gone on the record as saying that what this kid is doing in the gym is unbelievable. You know what I mean? So stories like that are coming out about him. You know what I mean? And I'm sure I believe them. So listen, man, this guy, like I said, for me, he's a phenom. He's a prodigy. Keep your eye on this kid. If you haven't, I mean, you probably heard about him already, but we'll all be watching his journey. I've got no doubt that he will become a world champion. I'm very excited to see his journey unfold. And yeah, man, Moses Mania. It's all about Moses right now. And I can't wait to see how the journey will end up. Anyway, that's all from me. Just a quick video here on Moses Itauma, boxing's prodigy. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out.